At my nephew's birthday, my mom handed gift bags to every child, except my son. She said he doesn't belong here. He cried. I simply took his hand and walked out. That night, Mom texted, "Never contact us again." I answered, "Okay, I'm canceling every loan." Minutes later, the group chat blew up. What would you do if your own mother looked your 7-year-old son in the eye at a birthday party and refused him a gift bag because he didn't belong? That's what happened to Theo. And in that moment, all the years of quiet resentment of being taken for granted, of being bled dry by my family, they finally exploded. And let me tell you, the fallout was absolutely, spectacularly brutal. My name's YMTT. I'm 31. And yeah, I'm a grocery clerk on the morning shift. I'm the guy who knows where the good tortillas hide and which self-checkout machine is always in a bad mood. But more importantly, I'm Theo's dad. He's 7, and he thinks the beeping of the scanners sounds like robots laughing. He collects stickers from the produce aisle like they're buried treasure. I'm also the middle kid, the fixer, the one who always answers the phone. So, Saturday rolled around. I ironed the one button-down shirt that still fits and doesn't make me feel like a giant toddler, and Theo and I headed to my sister Beth's for my nephew's birthday. We stopped for balloons because, seriously, dinosaur ones on clearance? You don't pass that up. Theo picked 2 green T-Rexes, all wild eyes and big teeth, clutching the strings like they might float him to the moon if he let go. The party was already in full swing when we pulled up. The yard was a chaos of folding tables, chalk art, and a cheap bounce house that sounded like it was wheezing its last breath. Kids were just everywhere, sugared up and fearless. My mom stood by the gift table, clipboard in hand, counting bags with that tight smile she reserves for inventory. Theo squeezed my hand. "Do I give the balloon now or later?" he whispered. "Later, bud." I told him, "Let's just say hi first." Beth gave Theo an air kiss. "Look at you, so big!" Then she turned to me, her voice dropping, smile tightening. "You brought her." I blinked. "It's just me and Theo." But her eyes cut to the driveway, where Naomi, Theo's mom, and my ex had just pulled up. "We co-parent. We try to make it work for Theo." I told Beth we might both come so Theo would feel more relaxed. Beth's jaw just set. "Well, make it work," she snapped, like she'd just swallowed a whole lemon. Then Mom clicked over in her sandals, not even looking at me. She just stared at Naomi like she was a stain on the rug. "Yemtiti, you should have cleared this." Her voice was ice. "She shouldn't be here." Theo heard it. Of course he did. Kids always catch the one sentence you pray they miss. His little fingers tightened around the balloon strings. "Grandma," he asked, his voice so small. Mom kept her voice even, like she was the reasonable one. "It's a family day." Naomi's mouth opened, then closed. She just crouched down to Theo's level. "We'll sit over there, okay? By the chalk." The party machine kept grinding on. Cake, photos, scavenger hunt. I tried to just blend in, to be invisible. But then came the gift bags. Beth announced, "Everyone line up. Bags by age." Kids formed a shaky, squealing line, comparing colors. Theo bounced next to me, holding my hand. He loves those little trinkets. Erasers shaped like food, sticker sheets. It was finally his turn. Beth reached into the tub, then she hesitated. She looked past Theo at Mom. Mom shook her head. Once. Sharp. Not for him. My lungs forgot how to breathe. Theo blinked up at Beth, his confused smile slowly melting away. "I didn't get one," he whispered. Beth's voice was bright plastic. "Oh, sweetie, we ran out." 3 unopened bags sat right there on the table. Theo looked at them, then at me. His face crumpled. He was trying so hard not to cry and failing. He pressed the balloons into my hand, suddenly heavy. "Can we go?" I stared at my mother. "He's your grandson." She just crossed her arms. The guest list was for family. Something inside me went quiet, like a switch had flipped. I bent down to Theo. "Yeah, bud, we're done." I took his hand and we walked out. Those dinosaur balloons bobbed behind us like they were following us home. That night, my phone pinged. Mom, don't contact us again. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I typed, slow and deliberate, sure. I'm off every loan. 3 dots. Then the group chat exploded like a fuse had just been lit. The joke in my family, see, is that I work at the grocery store. They say it with a careful pause, like I'm performing some kind of endless community service. I started at 19, bagging groceries in the summer. I stayed because I needed the health insurance, because I could swap shifts when Theo was sick, because sometimes stability is the bravest choice when your life keeps tilting. The unfunny part of that joke? How often my paycheck patched holes I did make. When Dad left, Mom told us we had to pull together. And pull together for her meant I picked up doubles and handed over what I could. Beth was in grad school then, a constant cloud of emergencies, textbooks, deposits, some random fee the bursar sprang on her. My younger brother Matt, he floated from one ridiculous scheme to the next. A landscaping business that was mostly a rake in my trunk. A podcast with 2 episodes. A crypto phase that ended exactly how crypto phases always end. And I kept saying yes. I thought that was love. The first yes was small. Mom's phone bill for a month until alimony started. Then it was Beth's last credit hour because she'd lose her spot. Then a security deposit for Matt because he almost had a job. The asks were always framed as catastrophe and calendar. If I didn't help now, everything would collapse by Tuesday. Naomi and I were 22 when Theo was born. We weren't married. We weren't a disaster, either. We were just 2 people trying to do right by a tiny human, learning to be less anxious versions of ourselves. I took every early shift they'd give me. Naomi finished her classes at night. My apron always smelled like oranges. My shoes always squeaked. Mom never liked Naomi. She called her fragile, the way you'd call milk spoiled. She called Theo your situation. She said if I'd been smart, none of this would be happening. Then, when childcare fell through and Naomi needed $400 to keep her spot next semester, Mom texted, "Ask your girlfriend's parents. We raised our kids already." So I asked the only place that never said no to me, myself. It didn't stop at cash. It was signatures, too. "It's just to get a better rate," Mom would say, sliding a car loan application across the table. Homemade cookies cooling next to it like a bribe from a sitcom. "Your credit is clean. It won't even touch you." She'd already filled out her part. She'd already highlighted where I should sign. I signed. Then insurance. Then a small personal loan when the HVAC died. Temporary, she said. Temporary stretched into seasons. Matt borrowed my debit card once because the ATM ate his. He forgot to return it for 3 weeks. $300 of forgot. I turned off tap to pay, changed my PIN, and told myself boundaries were coming. I wrote lists. Stop. Say no. You're allowed. Then a new ask would arrive, wrapped in urgency, and my list would fold back into my pocket, soft from being handled too much. Beth's wedding was a catalog of things I couldn't afford but paid for anyway. "Only if you can," she'd always add, like we were playing at consent. "The venue needs the deposit today. The photographer takes Venmo." I told myself I was buying a seat at the table, buying inclusion. The place card said YMTT plus guest. But Mom asked me in the kitchen, "You're not bringing Naomi, are you? We don't need drama." I went alone. I danced with my son. He fell asleep in my lap during the slideshow. In one photo, my arm was in the frame, cropped at the elbow. When Theo turned 5, I threw a little party at the park. 2 co-workers came. Naomi made cupcakes with green frosting that stained everyone's tongues. I texted the family group, thread the address twice. Mom replied, "That's your weekend." Beth sent a thumbs-up emoji. Matt said he'd swing by if this thing wraps. They didn't come. Theo asked if Grandma was sick. I said maybe. He drew her a card anyway. Then there was the time Mom lost her wallet and used my information to order replacement cards because she'd handled this stuff when you were little. I found out when a new envelope addressed to me arrived at her house. "Oh," she said as if we were sharing a coat. It was easier. I told her that wasn't okay. She called me ungrateful. Who cooked for you? Who picked you up from practice? Who watched your child when Naomi had a test? Don't rewrite the story, emit. I knew the choreography. Guilt. Demand. Tiny apology that wasn't an apology. Repeat. Every no was selfish. Every yes erased itself and reset the counter to 0. A month before that birthday party, Beth asked if I could float the remainder on a bounce house because her card was acting weird. It was $220. I paid it. She sent a heart emoji, and "You're a lifesaver." The day of the party, Mom texted a list. Folding chairs, ice. Can you bring extra trash bags? Like I was the event staff. I picked everything up after my shift and arrived early to set out napkins. I wasn't even angry then. I just wanted the day to be easy for Theo. And then the bags. The headshake. The sentence you can't unhear. Not for him. I used to think the pressure would level off if I just kept carrying it. That's what you do when you're strong, right? You lift until it's lighter. But the weight didn't care that I loved them. It just got heavier. And if I kept holding it, someday Theo would try to lift it too. Back in our apartment, Theo sat on the rug, his dinosaur balloons tied to a chair. Naomi put a sticker sheet from her purse into his hand like a bandage. Want to pick a movie? He nodded, small. I stood in the kitchen, staring at my phone. Messages were coming in. Quiet pings like a distant storm. Mom, today was disrespectful. Beth, next time please coordinate. Matt, a meme of a dumpster fire. Then the block of text from Mom. Don't contact us again. I typed slow. Sure, I'm off every loan. The first ping came back before I even set the phone down. Mom, excuse me. Then the group thread erupted like microwave soup. Beth, yumtiti. What are you talking about? Matt, dude, chill. It's a birthday. Mom, we are family. You don't make threats. I took a photo of my banking app. Drew blue boxes over account numbers. Circled amounts with my fingers shaking, but the line steady. I dropped the image in the chat. Me. Auto transfer $175. First of every month. Car payment, Mom. Canceling tonight. Me. $220 for bounce house last week. Venmo request came from Beth. Me. $1,400 Matt. Rent bridge, February. Never returned. Beth, wow, classy Mom. You're humiliating your sister on a day that is not about you. Matt, you think you're a bank? You gonna charge interest now? Naomi looked over from the couch. You okay? No, I wasn't. My hands were cold, but something in me felt utterly clear, like the air after a storm. I was just done. Mom called. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. I put the phone face down and typed. Me, we are not a bank. That's the point. Me, I co-signed your car loan. I've made 22 payments. Me, my name is on your insurance. Me, I won't keep paying to be treated like I don't belong. Mom, you're being dramatic. Mom, you chose to help. Mom, we didn't ask you to bring her today. Actions have consequences. Naomi flinched at her name, even implied. You want me to go? She asked, hurt. You're his mother. I said, you're staying. Beth, the bags were counted. That's all. Me, I saw 3 extras. Beth, those were backups. Me, for who? Beth, typing, then nothing. Matt, bro, you're going to tank Mom's credit if you bail. Me, Mom can refinance in her name, or keep it and make the payment. I'm stopping mine. Mom, after everything I've done, While you stocked shelves, we carried you. Me. You mocked the shelves every chance you got. Silence. Then the oldest trick. Mom. What happens to family when they need something and you say no? Do you sleep at night? Me. I slept fine when Theo fell asleep without a gift bag because his family said he wasn't family. Mom, don't twist this. Me. Screenshots attached. I sent the cropped photo Naomi had taken, without meaning to. The 3 untouched bags. The list with names. A line drawn through Theo's like it had been erased. Beth, you were not supposed to see the list. There it was. The quiet part with a name. The thread went feral. Dad, who lives 2 states away and only drops in when it's convenient, chimed in. EMTT, whatever this is, don't embarrass your mother. I answered him with a single line. Copying you, so you know I won't be covering your property tax late fee this year either. He left the chat. Mom pivoted to the soft knife. I worry about Theo around conflict. You know how sensitive he is. If Naomi's presence causes trouble. Me. Theo cried because you singled him out. That's the only conflict here. Matt, he'll get over it. Kids bounce. Me, he shouldn't have to. I opened my notes app, where I'd kept a list I never meant to show anyone. I pasted it in raw. March 3rd, $300. Dentist. April 14th, $90. Utilities emergency. May 7th, $500. Matt, car note or tow. July 2nd, $175 automatic car payment 1 to 22 current. August 19th, $75 birthday banner reimbursement later. Never. September 9th, $220. Bounce house. Me. This is what I can remember. I can pull statements if you want the rest. Beth, you keep receipts like a psycho. Me, no. Like a parent. Mom, you think money makes you right? Me, no. Boundaries do. I ended it. Me, I love you. I'm done funding disrespect. I'm canceling transfers. I'm removing access. I will take calls about Theo only. Then I silenced the thread and sat on the floor next to my son, who was arranging the 2 Dino balloons so their teeth lined up just right. Canceling is less dramatic than it feels. It's taps and holds and wait times. It's talking to 2 banking reps and 1 supervisor who says, you've been sending a lot of money to the same memo for a long time. You okay? I laughed a little too loudly. I am now. I unlinked my card from Mom's utilities account. I toggled off autopay for the cosign loan, which put a pit in my stomach, even though I knew it was right. I emailed the lender to remove my bank as the drafted account and asked for documentation of responsibility. Cosigner remains liable until paid or refinanced, the reply said. I knew that. The point wasn't magic. The point was choosing not to be the default wallet. I texted Matt directly, separate from the chat. No more spot me. Not even 20 until Friday. He wrote back, lol. Okay, banker. Then 2 days later, you got 20 till Friday? I didn't reply. He Venmo requested me anyway. I declined. That little red X felt like a muscle waking up. Mom sent a long message to Naomi that started, I worry about Theo's stability, and ended with, we need to talk about what's appropriate. Naomi forwarded it to me with a single word, wow. Then she called, you sure you want all this smoke? I don't want smoke, I said. I want oxygen. At work, the air felt different. I stalked blueberries and listened to the radio that always plays 3 songs from 10 years ago. My manager, Irene, is soft-voiced but sees everything. She asked, you look like you finally slept. I said no to my family, I told her, and her eyebrows tried to climb off her face. Good, she said, simple as that. About time. On Tuesday, Mom called the store. Customer service paged me like there was a spill in aisle 5. I took the phone behind the lottery counter. Mom didn't say hello. Your name is still on the car. I know. So you're going to tank my life? No. You can refinance. I'll help make the appointment, but I won't pay. She took a breath that sounded like a chair scraping tile. You ungrateful little man. I'm a father, I said. That's the job I'm doing. She hung up. I stood there with the dial toned for a second, like an old movie. Beth posted a story. Cupcake wrappers, leftover balloons, her kid asleep on the couch, captioned, "Perfect day." I muted her. I didn't block anyone. I just trimmed the noise. The first week, it was mostly texts alternating between rage and performance. We're fine, actually. I hope you're happy. You put money over people. That one made me laugh in a way that didn't feel cruel, just clear. I had put people over me for so long, I forgot I was one. By Friday, Matt's car got repossessed. He called at midnight, voice tight with blame. They took it because of you. They took it because of missed payments, I said. I didn't call the tow. You could have. I'm going back to sleep. I did. That still shocks me. On Sunday, I took Theo to the Dollar Theater and let him pick the sticky seat. He put the 3D glasses over his regular ones and whispered, "It looks like they're running at me." On the way home, he said, "Grandma was mean. Kids don't dress sentences up. They just lay them down." She said, "Grown-ups can be wrong. Are we going back there?" His voice was small. Not for a while. He nodded, thumb worrying the corner of the ticket stub. Good. It wasn't all relief. I had to call the lender, twice more. I had a stomach ache on bill day. I deleted 3 drafts of texts starting, "I didn't mean," and "maybe we can," and left my phone charging in the other room instead. But there were also simple, good things. Naomi and I rewrote our swap schedule so I get 2 school pickups a week, because Theo likes when I'm the one by the fence. I started saying yes to the morning walk with the other 2 clerks after our shift ends. We talk about nothing. Sports I pretend to know whose cat did what, and it is a lot more than nothing. I set a reminder to transfer $50 every Friday into a Joy envelope just for Theo. Stickers, the good markers, a hot chocolate after school. It feels like rebellion. 2 weeks in, Beth texted me a photo of Theo at her place. She'd invited him over to play with his cousin while Naomi had a late class. He was smiling. He had a Lego in each hand. No caption. It was an olive branch without language. I breathed. That night, Mom sent a short message, just to me. "Your aunt says I was harsh." No apology. Not yet. I read it twice and put the phone down. I am not a vending machine for forgiveness either. At the store, I asked Irene for 1 Saturday off next month. "Theo's soccer," I said. She smiled like I'd told her I won the lottery. "Of course," she said. "Also, you've been running the front like a pro. Want to train on the order system? It comes with a $1 raise." My throat did a stupid little wobble. "Yes, please." The group thread quieted. The world didn't end. The car didn't explode. The lights in my apartment still turned on when I flipped the switch. It should not be remarkable to live inside your own life, but it felt like stepping out of a too tight shirt. On a Wednesday, I got a voice message from Matt, of all people. He mumbled, "I'm figuring some stuff out." Then louder, I got a temp gig. Warehouse nights. Not ideal, but he didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. I sent back a thumbs up and good. The same day my aunt called. She never calls. "Yemtiti," she said. "I heard what happened. For what it's worth." I saw the list on the table before Beth grabbed it. "I'm sorry." I stood in the break room holding a plastic fork like a microphone and said, "Thank you." I didn't realize until then how hungry I was for one adult to say, "You're not crazy." Theo taped his dinosaur balloons to his wall. They were wrinkled now, slumped, but he liked the shadows they made at night. "They're still here," he said. "They just look different." "Yeah," I said. "That's how some things are." The chat didn't explode again. Maybe it burned out. Maybe they learned I mean my words now. Maybe everyone got busy being their own main character. I don't spend all day guessing anymore. That's new. I wrote an actual letter, not a text, to my mother. I kept it simple because simple is what I can keep. I love you. You are Theo's grandmother. You heard him. I won't put him or me in that position again. If you want to be in our lives, apologize to him and to Naomi and treat us like family in both words and actions. I'm not paying your bills. If you need help finding a refinance appointment, I'll send you the number. That's all. I mailed it. She hasn't answered yet. That's data too. On the fridge, I put 2 lists side by side. The old one used to be due for them. The new one says pay rent. Buy oranges for tomorrow's shift. Read the dinosaur book again. Transfer $50 to Joy. Call lender in 2 months to check status. Walk. It looks boring. It feels like a life. The moral isn't that I finally taught my family a lesson. Maybe they learned nothing. Maybe next month someone will try a new angle, softer or sharper. The moral is smaller and bigger. My son watched me choose him, and then choose me. He saw me leave a party not because I'm dramatic, but because we were not welcome at our own table. He saw me say sure, and then do the work my sure required. People say blood is thicker. I say boundaries are. I used to think forgiveness meant rushing back into the fire to prove you're flame-proof. Now, I think forgiveness looks like watering your own grass and letting the scorched patch stay scorched until someone else brings water. Last night, as I tucked Theo in, he asked, "Are we going to another party soon?" "Yeah," I said. "Saturday at the park. Hot chocolate and a soccer ball. Do I get a bag?" "You get me," I said. "And the whole park." He grinned, gap-toothed and unstoppable. "That's better." I turned off the light and sat at the little table, where I balance my checkbook like an old man. The number at the bottom is still humble. My apron will still smell like oranges. But the math adds up. Money isn't love, and love isn't money, and both require saying yes to the right things and no to the rest. My mom might call. Beth might knock. Matt might need a ride at 6 a.m. I'll answer the door I can answer. I'll lock the one I can't. I won't pick up my wallet before I pick up my son. I'm EMTT. I stock shelves. I fold dinosaur balloons into the shape of a nightlight. I pay my bills. I don't fund cruelty. I'm not the family bank. I'm a father, and I'm done being anything less. So, tell me after hearing all this, if you were me, what would have been your breaking point? Or have you ever had to draw a line with your own family, and how did it go? I really want to hear your thoughts.